Meeting will come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been satisfied. Would you please turn off the electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker,
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo,
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg.
I am here.
At this point, we're going to take a few seconds to read a statement. And I'll begin, and Mr. Deeney will then continue. There's been much speculation within the past month about potential drug fraud in Atlantic County and elsewhere. This week, there were arrests of numerous persons in Atlantic County, including one city employee. Civil service forms are being prepared by Margate Legal Counsel, which will be served according to law and city policy. Additionally, it has been reported that Margate's costs for prescriptions have risen substantially in the past 3 years. That is simply not true. Our premiums have been relatively stable, varying by less than 4% over a three-year period. Finally, neither Margate nor any of the more than 700 local government units participating in the state health plan benefits plan pool get regular reports of claim activity broken down by municipality from the insurance carrier employed by the state. The plan is segregated by active and retired municipal employees, as well as other categories not by municipalities. The overwhelming number of Margate employees are hardworking, local family-oriented individuals like their neighbors here in Margate. They pay taxes like all of us and contribute in many ways to the community by volunteering and supporting local religious and fraternal organizations and the local school system. Our business administrator, Mr. Deeney, will update us with additional facts. Richard?
Thank you, Mayor. For months, there has been a rumor and speculation about an FBI probe of prescription fraud involving doctors, pharmacies, and public employees within Atlantic County. Nationwide, there reportedly has been a 3,000% increase in the dispensing of what's called compound drugs in the past several years. Insurance companies are well aware of increased numbers of prescriptions by physicians and have taken steps to limit the acceptance of many of these drug compounds from prescription plans, which in turn has reduced costs for claims. Margate did receive an inquiry from the FBI in June, seeking only the names of all employees who receive health benefits through their employment with the city, as well as claim information available only through the New Jersey State Health Benefit Program. Margate obtained this information and was able to timely comply with this request. This information was provided to a media source in early July as per state law after receiving an open public records request sent to the city clerk. Various media reports have led to wide speculation regarding prescription use and misuse, as well as misinformation and assumption relative to costs and monitoring. The following are some facts that should be considered at this time. Number one, Margate participates in the New Jersey State Health Benefits Plan, with almost all participants enrolled in the New Jersey Direct 10 plan with prescription benefits. The enrollment is currently 116. The source for that statement comes from the Margate State Licensed Broker that we use. The second statement. Margate is one of approximately 700 New Jersey local government entities. There are municipalities, counties, school districts, housing authorities, and fire districts which participate in the New Jersey State Health Benefits Program. That source was the New Jersey State Health Benefits Program 2017 Rate Renewal Recommendation Report, dated September 2016. 3. The total yearly health benefit premiums for Margate in 2014 was $2.3 million. In 1915, 2.6 million. In 1916, 2.7,773,383. And in 2017, our Margate State licensed broker estimates, based on the 116 persons enrolled today, that our costs will be $2,773,383, a slight decrease. The source was the Margate State licensed broker. The average increase in total premiums for health care for city employees has increased 5% per year over the past 3 years. That again comes from the Margate State licensed broker. Number 5, in 2016, $1.1 million was contributed by the city employees, reducing the net cost for health benefits to $1.6 million to the city taxpayers. So you can see that the employees pay a substantial share of the health benefit cost. That again came, let me double check with the source on that. That came from our Chief Financial Officer. Number 6, in each of the past 3 years, the portion of the health benefit premiums to Margate for prescriptions has varied between $536,442 and $555,399. They're the difference over a 3-year period. An extremely stable cost. That again came from the Margate Chief Financial Officer. Number 7, neither Margate nor any other of the 700 local government participating in the state health benefits program regularly receive any reports broken down by municipality listing claim experience. The plan is administered by the state of New Jersey and is broken down by local government active employees statewide, as well as local government retired employees statewide. The only way to get reports sorted by municipality is to request a special report to be produced at a fee of several $1,000s to get a single report. Number 8, the state health benefits plan is professionally administered and plan changes are considered yearly. In 2017, the plan incorporated the following language, and I quote, "The state health benefits plan will pay only for the cost of the generic equivalent for all multi-source drugs, that is, brand drugs with generic equivalents. The difference must be paid by the user." That is a public employee of the 700 governmental agencies. I'll read that again. The state health benefits plan will pay only for the cost of the generic equivalent for all multi-source drugs. The difference must be paid by the employee. That was promulgated by the state. This change was projected to save 3.6% in premiums, and that information comes from the September 14th, 2016 plan year renewal recommendations at the state level. Number 9, in February 2016, the State Health Benefits Plan Design Committee adopted the Full Express Scripts Compound Management Solution. This solution excludes all compound ingredients that lack clinical evidence. Prescription drug cost trends were adjusted lower to incorporate this language. The source for that, again, is the September 2016 Plan Year Renewal Recommendation published by the State Health Benefits Commission. The overwhelming large pool of covered lives within the State Health Benefits Plan makes that program very cost appropriate for the overwhelmingly majority of local governments in New Jersey. It is one of the largest and most successful examples of shared services within the state and perhaps the nation. The Margate budget for net health care costs has actually decreased each of the last 3 years because of cost containment measures, including mandatory employee contributions. Prescription cost increases have been less than 4% total over a 3-year period. Your professionals are not here to manage prescription claims. That's a private matter between doctors and patients. Your professionals are here to manage costs which are being contained. I have copies of this statement that I'll put up here for anybody who would like to take it with you. I'll ask that the clerk post it on the website, and this information is available. We're here for questions. There's no question there's a problem. There's a problem with misuse of drug prescriptions countrywide, and specifically now in Atlantic County. It's here among us, among our neighbors. But the fact of the matter is, it has not affected the cost to Margate taxpayers. We're here to manage costs. We're not here to manage claims. That's what an insurance company has. We pay in Margate the same premium rates as every one of those 700 municipalities and school districts across the state. We pay not a penny more, not a penny less. And whatever that premium is shared the same way across the state by the employee and the local government. And that shared percentage is a separate percentage based on the amount of money that people make as they work for the city. The more money people make for the city, the higher percentage of costs they have to pay for their health benefits. But it's not controlled by Margate, it's controlled by the state health benefits plan. These are facts. I'm not making judgments with respect to individual people, legal things, prescriptions, or doctors. But the fact of the matter is, nobody gets a drug that's paid for by an insurance company, whether it's private or public, unless there's a prescription. That prescription is either a legal prescription or an illegal prescription. But they get it. That's the only way they get it. We don't see those. We don't see claims. We don't pay those. We pay a premium every single month. That's the point that I'm trying to get out to the public. And our costs have gone down. The part that's just for prescription has not gone down, but it's only gone up 4% over a 3-year period. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Berman. Okay, to continue, we have before us for approval the minutes of our workshop meeting and our capital meeting from July 6th.
I'll move for that approval.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We'll now open for public comment. This is a part that you can speak on any subject. You have 3 minutes. Please come forward, state your name and address at the microphone, please.
Art Cotilli, 114 North Lancaster Avenue. I have a couple of issues. I guess since Mr. Dini mentioned that, I think I'll go to my first problem. 5 years ago, in 2012, we had a population year-round of 6,300, give or take, people. We now have a population of 4,300 or so. This is like a 30% decrease. So I know people mentioned that we really haven't increased taxes and whatever, by 1% maybe or whatever, but I'm on the other side. Maybe we should be looking at no increase, or maybe even a little decrease. We've also had a big increase in ratables. In addition to that, looking at what John mentioned too, it seems like there's an awful lot of questions to be answered, and a lot of things can happen. It seems to me that since we had this drop in population, we shouldn't be looking at increasing services. And when I see people being hired, and you see it in the Down Beach where, we have a new fireman. For the first time, I think we've reached 35 people. This sounds like an awfully big fire department for a little 2-square-mile town. It's 2 miles long by 1 mile wide. So that to me is annoying, and I think we really should look at that and look to maybe freezing hiring. Let's take this little time to sit back and see what happens. Maybe this is the best way to address the problem situation that may occur. We don't have to worry about it if we sit back and let the thing run its course. The second issue is the school. We've given the school over $1 million in a bond to replace the air exchangers on the roofs of Thai. But what happened was they're not going to do it. I wasn't in favor of it, but nobody cares what I think anyway. But it bothers me that now all of a sudden it's not such an urgent issue. They're going to put that off till next year. But they're only allowed to carry 25% of this money over. So that means they're going to spend that other 75% of the $1 million. And once it's gone, they're going to fix little, broken sidewalks and things like that. Now, next year, is it going to come up again, this as an urgent issue again, which it doesn't seem to be now? And are they going to ask for another $1 million? This, to me, is concerning because apparently there weren't such a strict look at that particular finance. That finance was approved, and they don't even need it now. Thank you.
Thank you, Art.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Lynn Paul. I live at 3 South Vendome, and I have been there for 25 years. When we first moved in, there was no parking on our street, and over the years, we've had parking on one side alternate each year, and they had to remove their cars by 8 o'clock at night. It was fine. This year, we have parking on both sides of the street for 24 hours. I am representing my street. There's somebody else here from my street. It is so dangerous. I have a picture that I took today at 107 where we had to back out of our street because it's not wide enough for cars parked on both sides and cars coming in. What we're asking is to put it back to parking on one side of the street, leaving them there for 24 hours. We do not have a problem with that, but it is very, very dangerous. We cannot get out of our driveways. And to me, personally, when I see the people who are parking in front of my house, they're going to the beach. They have paid $7.50 for a beach tag, and they have a cooler with food. They are not bringing anything to this town. They're more than welcome to come and use the beach like everybody else, but right now, they're taking up the parking and making it very, very unsafe. We have a woman on our street, she's going to be 102, and that ambulance comes frequently. And if they had to back out or wait for cars today, I mean, I have pictures from today, you're more than welcome to see it. And then later in the afternoon, there was a big delivery moving truck, and the cars again backed out back onto Ventnor, back onto Atlantic. There's no room to even pull over. But we cannot get out of our driveways safely. People walk in the street, there are children, people walking dogs and things like that. And, as a taxpayer, I just think this is very unsafe and very, very unfair to the residents. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
My name is Gil Zuckerman. I live at 12 South Vendome. I'd like to remind the commission that last September the 1st, there was a meeting at which we discussed parking on South Vendome and this issue that we just talked about. We had a long discussion about it. It's in the minutes. There's a recording of it. There were 7 or 8 separate residences that expressed their feelings about the issues and the parking and the fact that we wanted it to be back the way it was over a 10-year period. We understand that the law had been changed 10 years ago and that nobody knew the law was changed. And the police kept putting up signs that said no parking on one side of the street one year and on the other side of the street the next year without any authorization to do that. And we were fine with that, and we wanted it to continue. So there was a long discussion about it. And at the end of the discussion, I believe it was Mr. Blumberg, and there's a recording on this. I call your attention to 22 minutes and 30 seconds of the recording from that meeting, at which time I believe it was Mr. Blumberg who said, I would propose, since the community seems to like the idea that we had one side of the street parking, that we continue with one side of the street parking on South Vendome Avenue. And the 7 or 8 people who were there for that meeting were very happy with that, and we assumed that meant that that's what the commission was going to do, but the commission didn't do that. So I'm here to request that that be codified and made into law as proposed, so that we can do what the majority, the vast majority of the people on South Vendome Avenue would like done, which is to put up no parking signs on one side of the street. 24 hours is fine, I don't care, and then move it the next year to the other side of the street. So I am asking, and I don't know how do we go from here? So do I just get to voice my feelings the way I did last time, or do we actually get some action on this? How do we move this along?
Dr. Zuckerman, I believe. isn't it?
Yes.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we have the police chief go, Chief, are you okay with that? Look and see what's going on down there and get back to us? Okay, we'll do that. Okay?
I do have a question, Mayor.
Go.
Miss, you said that the street is narrower than any other street in the city of Margate?
I did not say than any other street. It's a very narrow street, and it's very,
Please speak into the microphone. Thank you.
I did not say, I'm sorry, that it was narrower than any other street. It's a very narrow street. I'm concerned about my street. I'm concerned about the safety of the people and the children and the elderly on my street.
Well, we're all concerned about our children. We're
Well,
all concerned about our
But then
residents.
there's an easy fix.
But there's also 41 other streets in the city of Margate.
You know what? Maybe the whole thing should be revisited, and maybe we should think about the residents who pay taxes and not the people who come and dump their dirty things from the beach in front of your house.
Well,
I mean, they bring nothing to the town, and if they bring so much to the town, then maybe our taxes could be reduced.
Well, the one thing is the mayor suggested, and I agree, and it's usually protocol for this commission, to refer to our professionals. They look into it, they monitor it, they study it, and they understand.
Okay.
And then they come back and make a recommendation to us.
I would love to be able to send the pictures that I took today that are dated and timed to somebody for them to see.
Chief, you can send them to the chief.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I disagree with you a little bit about those people. Anybody comes to Margate is part of our family, and they're part of us. They do add something to Margate. They have just as much right to be here. That's what makes Margate Margate. Mhm. Okay, ma'am.
Good afternoon, I'm Andrea Rabina. I live on Essex Avenue, which faces Monmouth. A few weeks
May I
ago,
have an address, please?
You're-
May I-
you're-
Address, please.
205 North Essex.
Thank you.
So several weeks ago, a drunk driver drove right into my home, completely destroyed the whole front of my house. What I'm asking is that we could all come up with some solution, which I spoke to the police chief and his worker Val, trying to come up with ideas. How can we prevent the speeding on Monmouth Avenue? I was here 2 years ago complaining about Monmouth, and nobody stops at the stop signs. So I'm asking, either we put more stripes in the street where the school is, reverse the sign that says, "Watch children, it's facing the wrong way." And can I put even balusters in front of my home? I would like to see if we could do something working together to come to some result.
Once again, Chief,
We've already taken, as Ms. Rubino's aware, Val's already taken exorbitant steps. We put in double stop signs, painted streets, they're reflective in the stop signs. Unfortunately, I sympathize with Ms. Rubino. It was a drunk driver. I can't stop what a drunk driver does.
I completely understand that, and I respect
That's
all
a-
the help I'm
it's a-
given.
And we're coming up with some things, but we've already taken measures to try to correct this
okay,
area.
okay.
Well, I don't know how, if you have stop signs, reflectors, and how about flashing stop signs with LED lights? I mean, nothing is stopping people from stopping on that corner. So either we have to put up balusters, I'll take a couple in front of my house, because I don't feel like going through a remake of my house again.
No,
No,
understood.
we're you don't need to do that. Okay. We'll continue to look at that with the chief, okay?
And
we'll
someone
get
will
back to you.
follow up with me on this, or?
I will.
I
You know where I am.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate all your help, and I'm hoping we can all just work together and get some resolve.
May I make a
Thank you.
short statement?
Sure. John?
Ms. Rubino, just for the record, we understand the duress you went through, and it's unfortunate. It's almost all of us together have to be self-responsible. We know what our speed limits on our streets are. We have visitors, we have children, we have people on bikes. This is our season. We have 10 weeks where our businesses can thrive. And we all have to work together, just like you said, and we really appreciate your thoughts and your statement. But it comes down to self-responsibility. We can post 100 speed signs up. We've hired, the chief has worked with me, we put 4 Class 2 special police officers above our normal staffing for the summer months to issue parking tickets, to help our police officers be able to do their normal job instead of worrying about minor traffic. And when I say minor traffic, but we have speeders on Ventnor, we have them on Atlantic, we have them on Winchester, we have them on Claremont, we have them on Huntington, Quincy, any large streets. It's the problem we're faced with, and it's almost, I don't want to say it's out of our control, it becomes down to self-responsibility. People have to understand what they have to do when they enter a street. They have to stop at a stop sign. They have to do 25 miles an hour. Every street in our city is now, we've worked to reduce the speed on Atlantic Avenue from 35 to 25. And you have to understand, our police department is doing their job and trying. I know you do. And it's very misfortunate that you had to go through what you did, and nobody wants to see that. Thank God nobody was hurt. It's a shame.
Okay. All right.
But, like I said, I do appreciate everything that everyone has come
Thank
forward
you.
with, and they're helping me, and if we can come to some kind of resolve. Because it's really, I have a totally different view of everything now. It's
We're
quite
sure you do.
scary.
We'll try. We'll work with you.
We'll work
Okay. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for coming out.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Sewell, 22 West Drive. Mayor, you didn't learn a damn thing from Herbie Lipson's Philadelphia Magazine expose on Margate's wretched excess and near larcenous largesse. Mayor, NBC 10's investigation into the $3.35 million insurance fraud is a direct result. Mayor, you have unwittingly been the chief enabler and facilitator of this fiasco and mega snafu. You now claim it's heartbreaking and stomach churning. Your achy breaky heart is a malady of an acutely addled mindset. However, Giovanni might have a remedy for your stomach churning, better known by paisans as agita. Noni knew the cure for sure. Stunad, spacco il capo. Mayor, it's high time to put a swift and certain end to your wretched, unsustainable excess. Mayor, if you want to continue to play Santa Claus, then you might want to switch teams. But Mayor, Christmas comes but once a year. Your insane largesse extends to 365 days a year. Mayor, you're not being magnanimous, but rather malicious and avaricious to the nth degree, freely handing out soup to nuts Cadillac medical coverage unheard of in the private sector. It's costing property taxpayers over $2.5 million a year for some 116 employees and over $26,000 per employee per year. Mayor, your fellow octogenarians have to subsidize and underwrite what they themselves could never hope to afford. These poor schlemazzles have zero dental, zero optical, and a prescription plan with a huge donut hole. Younger property taxpayers are even far worse. The average CVS, Rite Aid, or Castle's clerk cashier does not even gross $26,000 a year, let alone receive a $26,000 soup to nuts medical plan. Mayor, wake up and do what needs to be done. Slash the 2.5 million yearly medical plan in half with a basic catastrophic coverage. Your churning stomach, acid reflux, and agita will stop immediately because you no longer have your patronage ingrates misusing or abusing an overly generous prescription plan. Also, property taxpayers must never be on the hook for the humongous 3.35 insurance fraud. Creating a catastrophe calls for an immediate and radical antidote, aptly defined as the catastrophic medical plan, just like your octogenarian clique. Enough said.
Rich, you want to get him or you want me to?
I just want to correct the record. Obviously, he didn't hear I said 1.6, not 2.6, so we're a long ways toward cutting that in half. We went from 2.6 to 1.6 in 30 seconds. So thank you, John, for your suggestion. Our costs are 1.6 million net costs. Thank you.
John, don't leave because I want to tell you, all your numbers were incorrect. So what can I tell you?
Listen, if these were investigative numbers,
If they-
and they would
and
be
John.
exposed to libel laws if they weren't accurate.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Len Grossman, 112 South Lancaster Avenue. John very carefully explained the situation with the information in the newspaper. And since this is a state-sponsored plan, do they have an obligation to us for reporting, for identifying misuse of funds or other obligations to the city or the participants? I mean, there's more than 700 of them. Is there, maybe this is addressed to you, Mr. Abbott, is there a legal obligation on their part to provide information and to control these things?
I believe there is some obligation on their part, yes.
So will something be done about this by the, not only Margate, but the other communities involved?
It's an ongoing thing here, Len. I think I think there's going to be charges coming along, and until such time, all the rumors that we hear are strictly rumors.
Yeah, but the state monitors this program. This is a state program.
Yes.
That's correct.
They have certain responsibilities, regardless.
agree with you.
Of what happens with this investigation. There should be controls that don't prevent these things from happening. And the state should have an obligation, I would assume, to institute these controls for nothing and not charge the communities. They're not fulfilling their obligations. So what are the communities going to do to enforce their rights? Thank you,
Mayor,
sir.
I can give a little bit better answer if you want.
Go ahead,
I mean,
Scott.
shall I? No?
Yes, please.
The state has a company that runs the pharmaceutical, and they have implemented changes already once they picked up on this. So for instance, compound drugs, the maximum cost is $300 a month. So they have implemented some changes. Yes, they have a responsibility to all of us, and I believe the state is changing companies now, effective January 2018. It'll be another company on behalf of the state of New Jersey that will run the pharmaceutical end of the insurance program. We do know that much.
And Scott, would I be correct in saying that our employees are participants in the state health benefits program? We co-share the cost of the premiums that are a contract that's issued, whether it's yearly or every 2 or 3, and our premiums stay the same throughout the course. It's an insurance policy.
Yeah, our premium actually slightly dropped.
Dropped. this year.
Right.
It went down, but yes,
But
as
the-
Rich said, over 700 governmental entities were part of a statewide pool.
But the point I'm trying to bring across is it's actually the full obligation to control the cost of both medical and RX would be the responsibility of the state health benefits program.
Oh, absolutely.
We're just participants. Yes.
Sure, go ahead back.
Yeah, so if it's the state's if it's the state's responsibility,
Yes.
how do we make sure the state is doing their job for the communities involved, the 700
Well, I
communities?
believe they are. I'm sure that they were involved because they felt that there was some fraud involved in whatever they determined, and they commenced whatever investigation has gone on. It was their responsibility, and they're fulfilling their responsibility from what I see. But again, we don't know anything. There might not be nothing.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Until this goes a little bit further,
Yeah.
we're really not
Well,
able to
this is
talk about it.
beyond the investigation. What I'm, implying is that, if there's some unusual activity, if my gas bill goes up 5 times in a month, then I do something about it. There should be some kind of obligation to report to the communities if there's something wrong.
Our CFO is shaking her head no. Lisa, do you want to comment on that? Yeah. All right, any other public comment?
Hi, my name's Carol Leaf. I live at 100 South Osborne. I'm concerned about the cost of the schools. As it is now, it's $33,000 per pupil per year. That's almost $300,000 for 8 years of education in Margate. And there are only 350 students here. There are 2 principals and 1 superintendent. And over the course of 8 years, it costs almost $8 million to educate these people. And we don't have that many students, 12 people. When I went to school, we had 60 people in a classroom, and I got a superb education. In addition to this, the debt on Ross Avenue School, out of all this budget for the schools, hasn't paid off their debt for Ross Avenue School, which is 17 years old. So we've got all this money being budgeted for that, and the debt hasn't even been paid. So I think most people think something should be done about that.
Thank you. Any other comment? Is there a motion to close public comment?
Steve's up.
Steve Altman, 9003 Amherst Avenue, Margate. Totally different discussion. With fewer of us living in Margate year-round, I experienced something in the past year where neighbors were raising their houses and then putting up these high security fences that you can't see through. I mean, there's just no way. One of my neighbors had a fire. I was totally unaware of it because you can't see into somebody's backyard. Like we used to have anchor fences that secured somebody's property, but you could see through it and notify either the police department or the fire department, whichever was appropriate, to some activity that was of a public concern. My other neighbor had an anchor fence this winter. I was able to see into their garden, and there was a fire, and I was able to contact the fire department. A mailman also saw it and contacted the fire department. We stopped the house, which was under reconstruction as a raised house, from catching fire to the subwalling. I think that the planning board permitting people to have fences which you can't see through is a public nuisance. I think the height of them and the fact that they're not variegated type of a fence that could be seen through to some degree makes it more difficult to see and report fire or police required activity year-round. And there are fewer of us living here year-round. It just makes it impossible. 2 houses, one on either side of me, both had an issue. One I responded to, one I didn't, because you can't see. something I'd like you to consider and maybe have a chat with the people on the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner Avenue. I have some concerns about this impending investigation or whatever concerning the drugs, prescription drugs here in Margate. And I'd just like to make a couple recommendations to the mayor and commissioners. Number one, if any employee is charged with a crime, okay, by the FBI, this is not like a little, Margate PD investigation here, okay? It's a federal government. Sorry, Chief. Okay, this is the, no offense, okay? I would hope none taken.
The big man is sitting here and you say something like that?
The big man and I know each other, okay? He knows what I mean, okay? These are federal charges, is what I'm trying to say, all right? The federal government looks at things differently than the local government. Let's say the local, the county, the state. The federal government is much more serious, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. In any case, if any employee is charged with crimes of concerning drug fraud or improperly distributing drugs, prescription drugs, that person should be suspended immediately without pay. Okay, I don't think the city should be required to pay that person. You know, it's all well and good, innocent until proven guilty, but there's a tremendous paper trail here. So number one, I don't think these people should be, I think they should be suspended immediately. Also, I don't think the taxpayer should be on the hook for anything like overtime or what have you, as far that may develop as a result of this. I think that that the departments that have the problem, maybe some of the supervisors should go to work and then take a shift, okay, instead of just driving around in a car. I think maybe it's time to, dust off the turnout gear or something, if it comes to that. So I don't think there should be any new hires. I don't think there should be any overtime. I don't feel that that the taxpayers should be burdened in any way with this, okay? And I think you should, work proactively for this. And also, concerning all these city vehicles, there's too many city vehicles. I don't think that the supervisors should have vehicles. There's plenty of vehicles that the city has already. You don't need your own separate vehicle. You can grab another vehicle. And if you're not going to be a supervisor anyhow, then you're not going to need a supervisory vehicle. So that's another thing that I have to say. And also, I would like to talk briefly about the arrest on Tuesday of Fireman Gogol. Okay, I don't know if the chief seems to think everything is great in the fire department. I'd appreciate if I could talk just a little bit longer, Mayor. Please. Okay, thank you.
10 seconds.
Come on, another minute.
Come on, Steve. You don't have to do it with everybody. Come on.
Let me finish, please. I think it's.
Steve?
Yeah.
Steve, you're going into someplace you probably shouldn't be going anyhow, so why don't we leave it here, okay?
It says 2:55.
We'll give you the extra 10.
Thank you. First of all, it's the first time I'm back in here, so
Name
thank
and
you.
address for the record, please.
Oh, I'm
Sharon.
sorry. I forgot. I haven't been here in a while.
Been a while.
Yeah. Missed me, huh?
Welcome
Sharon
back.
Simon, 424 North Thurlow Avenue, Margate. So thank you to everybody who is involved, whether it's funding or working on it, to put this back together. It looks great. And so I feel like, other than paint, we're right back where we were, except, did you change your name to John? I was just curious. Anyway, I also want to thank Rich and the commission for giving that report. And it is an ongoing investigation, and I think probably Mayor Becker, you're caught off guard, when it first came out and giving a comment.
And I know we started to do this once we got further into the dune issue, is that either a no comment or the commission comes up, or Mr. Deeney, whatever, with, statements, so that, everything you say can be interpreted one way or the other. So I just thought I would put that out there. As far as there should be no cost to the taxpayers, that's impossible. Whether it's going to be because some of our workforce may not be there and we still have to provide services and so on and so forth, I'm sure the commission will do whatever they can to minimize that. But you can't expect this commission to provide same services, no cost, in a case where possibly, they have a huge reduction in their staff. So I just wanted to say that. I also wanted to thank, this is my thank night, I wanted to thank Mr. Abbott, and this is in regard to the dunes in the article, about keeping focused on what we can do as far as drainage and the water issue. And I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that when we went to court, that the judge ruled that if these issues weren't resolved, and as a result there were damage to, or issues, that they would be addressed. So I think whoever said it, I believe it was you, that we need to get that in writing, and so on and so forth. And lastly, people come up here and they make statements, and other people in the audience, particularly I think with regard to the schools, and possibly John, but I don't know that people really necessarily believe his numbers to be true. But what happens is it's not addressed. So whatever's heard here goes then out into the public. And so next thing you know, this is true and that is true. I know you can't address everything, but when something's brought up, I'm going to buzz here, that it could be addressed. And if it's school things, maybe the school could address it, just so people know the facts. Not that their facts may be wrong, but there's missing facts. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Motion to close public comment.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Johanna?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We will now open public comment for resolutions and second reading of ordinances. Is there any public comment?
I'm not sure this relates, but I know there was a lot of complaints about the
Name,
two people
please.
parking. Art Cortilli, 114.
Art, is this
North Lancaster
resolutions
Avenue.
and ordinances? The
no.
other portion of public comment is closed.
Yeah, I didn't think I could get up twice, so
Okay.
I didn't realize.
Sorry.
All right.
I'll make a motion to close public.
I'll second that.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Johanna?
Okay, may I have a motion for the introduction of ordinance number 15, 2017, an ordinance amending chapter 127 dumpsters?
I'll move that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for the introduction of ordinance number 16, 2017, an ordinance amending chapter 257 vehicles and traffic?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for public adoption of ordinance number 14, 2017, an ordinance amending ordinance number 21, 2016, fixing salary and wages?
I'll
Make
move
that
that
motion.
motion. That ordinance.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 130, 2017, authorizing payment and claims?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution 131, 2017, authorizing payment to Colmar?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
I abstain.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution 132, authorizing a joint venture agreement with Stockton Coastal Research?
I'll move that for Scott.
I'll second it. For Scott.
Mayor Becker,
I'll vote yes for Scott.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Yes for Scott.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
May I have a motion for Resolution 133, 2017, approval of sewer service agreement between Ventnor City and Margate
I'll
City?
make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Motion resolution number 134, 2017, authorizing purchase under state contract 2017 case 721G full-size wheel loader.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Motion for resolution number 135, 2017, authorizing the purchase under state contract 217-2, case TR 340 compact tractor
I'll
loaders.
make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution 136, 2017, authorizing purchase under state contract 30 path mats?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 137, 2017, authorizing Governor Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse fiscal grant?
Make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 138, 2017, authorizing tax lien redemption?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution 139, authorizing tax lien redemption?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 140, 2017, authorizing change order number 3 for City Hall repurposing?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 141, 2017, authorizing the acceptance of work as completed for City Hall repurposing Phase 2?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 142, 2017, authorizing the renewal of 2017-18 pocket license for those that have met city and state requirements?
Make
So
that
moved.
motion. Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 143, 2017, authorizing the delivered deed for a portion of Lot 18, Block 17, pursuant to ordinance number 15-2016?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion to approve resolution number 144, 2017, authorizing employment and retirement agreement with Fire Chief and Beach Patrol Manager?
So moved. Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
And I need a motion for a resolution that was added during our capital meeting for resolution number 145, 2017, authorizing the execution of a 90-day revocable license agreement for city property identified as Block 207.02, Lot 47.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you, Johanna. There being no more business, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved. I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.